Hey guys, Joe Petruzzi here. Welcome to the first Drillcast on the How to Write Drill video series. I have the first movement done for this show, so right now we're going to be looking at that, and then we're going to continue on to the second movement. The show is called The Insanity of an Imaginary World by Frank Sullivan from Inspired Music and Entertainment Productions. Thank you to them for providing us with this show. So I'm going to show what I have so far, and then we're going to move on.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Alice.
Hello, Alice.
Alice. Alice. Alice. Alice. Alice. Alice. Alice.
Alright, that's what we got. So you'll see that, there's a lot of parts throughout the first movement where I interpret the music a certain way and I try to match the visuals in drill with the music, and that's a really important part when you write drill. Just for example, like that last move, they started having the song where it goes bum 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 bum, and it almost like a winding up kind of feel. And I thought stretching out the block in and out on both corners would be kind of a good visual aspect to add in there to kind of tie in with the music, so it's almost like you're watching the music. That being said, we're going to look at what we have now. So we have our visuals there, then we continue on, and we're in this nice blob. So the important part for this is that in the music, there's sectional stuff coming up in about a minute. So we have low brass, and then we have the woman stuff, and then also and some trumpets. So just so you guys know, I do not have the scores for this show. So bear in mind if I have some instrumentation that's different from, like, let's say the baritones and the trombones have a feature in my show, but in real life, in the scores it says the tubas are playing. That's just because I'm going off of ear. So obviously, if you have the music with the show, absolutely read it over a bunch of times before you get into it, and then always have it. If you have another computer screen, have it next to you, or if not, just in paper in front of you. So that being said, we're going to have to get them back in their sections. It's not terribly mixed up here. If you looked in the beginning, I color them. So basically, all the cool colors like white, purple, blue, teal, that's our brass, and then we have our yellow, orange, red, and pink. That's the woman's, and then our green is color guard, and then black is drumline. So if you look here, we'll go here so you can see them. We have most of our hot colors right down here, and then the cool colors above. So it's not going to be too bad to get them off. So what I want to do is we have a visual moment we can add here. So they're in this blob. So for the next set, I'm going to have them park here because we're going to say there's a drum feature going on here. So while they're doing their thing, there's plenty of ripples you can do, any kind of visuals, because they're in that condensed space. We're going to do add set. And then we're going to sometimes, with this, you got to make sure your counts are up because it said right here we have 32 counts. So it wants to keep assuming it's the same count. So we're going to listen to this and then make sure. That's 16 counts, so we're just going to edit that real quick. And link one more time. Alright, good. So, we're there, and then I think I want the, I'm going to have the drum line have some movement too right here. So we have our 5 basses, 5 tenors, 8 snares. So, I think we'll do a pod. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a subset in here. So 8 count, we're going to have a subset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate. Let's get these guys back to there. We're going to separate our snares. And then move them lower just a little, just to give it a little more movement on this set. And then the bass drum, where they lined up there. Okay, so bass drums move up here and rotate. Let's look at our step size. Yeah, not bad. All right, and then here, and then we're just going to copy and paste this to the end. That way we have the same for the subset. And then they're going to go in to the snares, the tenors. And then we're going to do windows here. So it worked out just because with the numbers it's 4, 5, and 4 because we have 8 snares and 5 tenors. And then the basses can, the basses will pinwheel back into that. So already you can see a lot of the stuff I talked about in the other episodes of How to Write Drill, I'm using right here. So alright, so obviously when you're reviewing your sets, you have to make sure step size is doable. So obviously it's not in that case. I can already tell by looking at the 2D that it was a little big. So down here, the bases to the first 8 counts of the subset bases are very high. So I would like them to stay at the corner of the tenors so we can get the corner follow effect as they move in. So I want to see if I can move everyone down a little bit just to help them out. So we're looking at, I'm just going to play around with this. 6.7 looks like the best. Yeah, 6.7 to 5, which isn't too bad. We'll put them there and we'll play that real quick. And then we'll do 3D real quick. Drillbite has had a pretty modest opener drill-wise, so I mean it's not going to be the end of the world. They have a little challenge here. Alright, that's good. And then now we're going to move them down. Yeah, that's okay. So get our step sizes back again. Step sizes are definitely important, especially moves like this when you're using the drum line, because the drum line it's a little different because they're crabbing. So you have to make sure it's just a little smaller than you usually would. I mean, for me, I don't really ever like to go more than like a 6.5 to 5 with drumline. Let's drag these in a little bit. Like I said in other videos, basses are 3 to 4 steps is fine. So I think by getting them a little closer, turn the grid off for a second to the tenors. With that should give us a little more room to work with. So now we're at not 6 yet, but we're close. So we're gonna, the more we get over here, the better it gets. Okay, sorry, I didn't explain. Just so you guys know, where my mouse is, you can see at the bottom left corner it says largest step 5.57 to 5. This is where I'm getting my step size reading. So you'll see me if I'm just moving people around. That's what I'm talking about right here. It tells it. So I want to get them to 6. It doesn't look like that's happening with the way this is going. So I think what I might do, could just, I think the bases, we're going to have them, the center of them be lined up with the, turn the grid on, whoops, to the tenors. So now we're going to do this. Well, on 5.7 is our largest, but is the bases? Bases are doing 6, so our largest step size is coming from the tenors, looks like. Yeah, the tenors have the largest step size out of this whole thing, so if we can just get them over here. And then now all of them, I think it'd be better, we're going to treat them separately because the basses can march a little bit bigger step sizes because the way the instruments are set up. So for snares and tenors, I'm going to keep them 6 to 5 or better. So we're going to get them. So yeah, right here, 6.2, 6 to 5, and then we'll line them up. And then these guys are that's fine. 5.8 to 5 for bass. It's totally fine. So now we're going to watch from 3D mode how that whole move looks. Very cool. Like I said, the band will be parked. That way, our drumline move. So the last move there before this one, we have our guard getting the sideline. So this whole set, the sideline color guard, we'll use this set for them to get their new equipment. I think we could. I think it'd be nice to have the color guard follow the leader here this way, just so we can get a little kind of surround the band. Because if we go this way, they're gonna run out, and also in the whole opener, most of them were in the back or framing, so that's okay. You can have a nice mixture of framing and then integrating them in the drill. But I want to really have the second one be more integration, and I think I'm gonna have all of the sideline color guard and these guys go to rifles or sabers, just because those are easier to integrate with because it's obviously less material to work with, and the interval's gonna be much smaller. So yeah, we're gonna do. I don't know. You can go either way because if we follow the leader here, they're gonna have to curve around this blob, and the resulting shape from the follow leader, we're gonna have this kind of arc here. It comes down, but then if we just follow leader this way, which would be easier just to have them off the side, is also because the would be better for the shape because it would just stay this shape instead of having to make a new shape. So I'm kind of considering both right now. Or I can not follow the leader and just kind of move the curve a little bit. Because I think having movement here is important, just because the drum line in this case is staged for the quote unquote drum feature. So yeah, I'm gonna do this the lower one just because I want to make sure they're kind of around the band for the next part, so you can start the integration. So we're gonna select. Alright, turn the grid off for this. I would say it's always important when you're working with curves, at least in this program, to turn the grid off when you're doing the follow leader because you can get a lot more accuracy with the grid off. For example, this is roughly, we'll call it a 9-step interval. We're decimals off. We'll call it 9. So when I do this, I know that if I went down here, it's going to be, I can go to 9, a little less here, and then just do this. But if it was on the grid, it would snap to that corner, and then it'd be a little less accurate. So I'm going to make sure that my step sizes also during this don't get too bad. So right now with 2, we have 6.98 to 5. One more should do it. 4.4 to 5, we'll finish our points, and then we can move them around a little bit. We have some nice arcs here for the path. And then, yeah, then we'll just accept. I'm going to see how that looks. It's not too important to do it in the program, but obviously in real life I would suggest that the color guard face the direction they're going because they have a 4.5 to 5, so it is jazz running. Sometimes I'll do that in this program, but with what the work they do though, it's actually in front of them. So if you have them follow the direction they're going, you're only going to see the flag from the side, because they're moving. Most of them are moving this way, so that's normally why I don't do it in this. Looks like that set's done. We have them. We're gonna add visuals later to here, and now we're gonna have our sideline members. We'll do it right at count 12. We'll change to rifles. So guys, also I just want to say this program is very cool because you have everything you need if you want to write drill for a real group. Everything you need in this program for a very good price. So what you can do is, if you're interested after this video, you can go to their website, box5software.com, go to products, and you'll see there's a free trial for this, and you can actually download it, and you can do whatever you want with it. You just can't save anything, so you can really get used to the controls, and which is not hard at all because it's very easy to set up. Everything you need is all up here. And for example, like print mode, you got everything. Dot sheets, coordinate sheets, everything you need is in this. So that's why I prefer to use it, and that's why I believe Box 5 Software is really onto something here. So we're gonna move on to the next set here. "16 counts. Set properties. 16 counts." Okay. So now we're gonna have the band move again because they have this little dissonant chord here for a little bit, and then they tunes out, and then we're back into our sectional stuff. So I'm gonna want to expand this just a little bit, and also have some rotation. We're just gonna see how just expanding works with this. I'm not sure if it's gonna work too well because then they're gonna be in this blob still after. So we're just gonna see how that looks. I'm not too sure about that. Well, I am going to keep the rotation because we want to make sure our woodwinds are going to go here. I may just have them go back into a block. The numbers worked out for this one. We have 100 wind players. Gotta get our corner back here. Yeah, selected 100, so we can always do a 10 by 10 block or any other, multiples of that. So I think for this one it'd be good, or actually instead of a 10 by 10, we can also do a 5 by 20. So yeah, we're gonna start with this as a 5 by 20 block. We're gonna see how it looks, and if it looks good, we will continue with it. So we're gonna get a grid on. And I'm just gonna, that'll be the second person. So I like to start off with big or small intervals depending on how many people you have, and then you can just kind of adjust the size later. That way you can just get a accurate read on where the dots are, especially if like if it's a curve or something, like it's going to be weird dots because of the size or your step size isn't working out. This is the way to do it. That way you can make it as accurate and clean as possible before you finally change the size. So I know for a fact we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These 11 people have to be on the farmost line. So I'm just going to take them, just kind of drag them out here so I know. So we have 11, 12, 13, and then we need another 7 people. So we're going to intermix these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This won't work for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move these guys over a little bit so we can get that going. So we have one. So we're just going to go up till we hit 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Move these guys over a little bit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then, actually, excuse me. This was good, but then these, forgot about them, the intermixing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'll be 2 more. Go back for a second. And hopefully after this move, when they start to go in the sectional part, we can actually kind of get the individual subsections together again, like the tubas especially, and the trombones, or low brass in general, then trumpets, mellows. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So now I have 20, so then we're just going to move this line down. We're going to make it smaller in a second. Just want to get my markers on there. Okay, so I think it's probably going to be a two-step interval on the dot because I want to make sure it's accurate in case I want to window it. So I think we're going to try 2. That should be 2 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, then we'll move that back over here. Select them again. Whoops. Just switch these two. Okay, so then we have our next. This is our next set. So now that we know it's going to be 2-step intervals vertically, I'm just going to make sure everyone is now. So 1, 2, we need 18 more again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. We're going to we'll add a nice chunk here. So we'll do 1, 2, or just 1 really. 4 total. Then we have 5 and 6. Then we'll do 7 and 8. It's good to visualize where it's going to be the transition. That way you just kind of know beforehand if it's going to be a collision or not. And whoops. Let's go back for a second. Actually, yeah, let's do this. We need 8 more. Sometimes I don't know. That's why I replay the sets, obviously. We have some issues in this upper region here, but we'll worry about that in a second. I'm just going to get everyone in their respected line. 18 more. So I think we'll just grab our 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then just this whole line here. That's probably not going to work out because of that last whole line, but we'll see how it goes. Wait a second. Oh no, I'm sorry. We don't need 20. We just need 18. So actually, we'll get those last 2. We'll be out. So now we can do it. So we'll just do this. I apologize for the boring, dry material in between sets. Sometimes I'm focusing on too much, and I want to be able to make sure you guys know what's going on. But then I just ramble on. So. Alright, we'll review that. If you guys catch a collision I don't see, I guarantee you I did see it. I'm just waiting to get more serious collisions out of the way first before I connect them. But by the end of this, there will be no collisions. Don't worry. I'm just gonna, for the sake of sanity, which is weird because this show is actually about the insanity of imagining world, we're going to mute the music. Actually, I'm just gonna check line by line. Almost done. So line 1 and 5 are fine. So now it's all about 2, 3, and 4. Just gonna switch them real quick. So now let's do the upper view of the marchers to get a better read. I think there's some more vertical issues than horizontal because they have 4 steps in width but 2 steps in height. So I think what we'll have them do is at the beginning of this set, they're gonna look this way. So, I mean, tubos will have to hug their instruments a little closer than usual for this part. Alright, cool. And then forward here. So let's rush back those last 2 sets. Oops, music. I just realized that this, see, look, you gotta review, guys. You'll see issues like this. This blob actually moved. So to control C, excuse me, to copy. We're gonna paste it here. And now it means our whole block is actually gonna have to be all the way down here now too. Step size is not bad. Yeah, right here. 6.75. And then for now we'll move the color guard. Obviously their sets are gonna be, their dots will be different than this, but just to get them out of the way. See the last 2 sets. I think it looks pretty cool. Save that. Alright guys, so that is the end of the first drill cast. So we'll be posting more videos on just general tutorials of drill writing. If you have any questions, you can personally email me or email Box 5 Software. My email is jmpetruzi@my.ccsu.edu. So I will see you guys next month, and I hope you enjoyed our video.